The former Bengals kicker Doug Pelfrey is here. All right, Pelf, you saw the poll question. 6-0 will be what by the time we get to the end of Week 17?
To me, it's 12 or 13 still. I still think we're 12-4. We may stretch it to 13-3 because I really thought we'd be 5-1 going into this break. And right now we're ahead of schedule, so that's good.
I asked Dave Lapham this question. I want to ask you as well. Lap played on a Super Bowl team. You did not.
Right. Just
how hard is it to start a season at 6-0, especially when you consider the fact that these training camps are now very watered down?
Right. I'd be one to ask how to start 0-10 versus 10-0. So, to me, it's incredibly difficult, especially in the NFL with as good as teams are. And it seems like right now everything we're doing is working. I think the thing that's playing into our hands right now is that we're just healthy at just about every position, and we do have depth. And in the past, we've not had either one. We've not had the depth, and we've had key injuries to people we couldn't afford to lose. So, to me, I think this team is so positioned well to do it just because of their health and the depth.
Remarkably healthy. Only Leon Hall sat this one out today. Now, of course, today they did have a couple of injuries with Michael Johnson and a calf, and Vinny Ray with what seems to be an ankle sprain. But the good news is the injuries come at a good time because now they have the extra week off. So what is more remarkable, the way they're playing or the fact that an NFL team in this day and age can stay this healthy? They don't have key injuries anywhere. Fontes Berk notwithstanding, obviously, right. We won't count him because he hasn't played yet.
And honestly, the way the thing's playing out is what's so impressive about this year, because things are almost kind of playing, usually when you wait for the other shoe to drop, you're waiting for something to go wrong.
Sure.
And right now, everything's going right. And, so the bye week's coming at a really good time. And the fact that you're getting Berk coming back, I think is excellent timing going down the stretch here. So, to me, everything's just kind of laying out for a wonderful season and hopefully, a great playoff run and maybe get back to a Super Bowl.
Do you get the feeling that Bengals Nation is appreciating this and enjoying it as much as it should? Because I know the playoff failures of the last 4 years, and everybody says, well, let's just get to January already. But this should be enjoyed.
This should be enjoyed, and I think we're enjoying it as much as we can, but I think we've all been burned so many times by the false hopes, and I think that's what everybody's trying to prevent right now, is they're trying to prevent the other shoe from falling or what's going to go wrong. And I think it's a mentality that Bengal fans are going to have to get over, and it's going to take us being the Bengals overcoming a few obstacles ourselves along the way, winning the first playoff game, going deep into the playoffs again, getting back to a Super Bowl. I think that will kind of, I guess, unleash the fever. But right now, everybody is a little hesitant to celebrate too much.
Okay, before I ask you about the game coming off the bye week at Pittsburgh, let me ask you about today's performance. What impressed you most? Because they were really just very efficient on both sides of the football. It was a very even matchup, statistically very even, but except on the scoreboard.
Without a doubt. I mean, I think we obviously just played more solid offense and more solid defense. I mean, it comes down to it. I think we had the better field position. Coaches will always tell you field position and turnovers. The other thing that I think that played into our hands is that they are the most penalized team in the NFL, and they showed it again today. They had the fact that they had penalties when they couldn't afford it. I think 2 or 3 other things. The fact that their starting quarterback didn't play. The fact they played without Harvin. They had a couple key guys get hurt as well. So it really just played out. It's almost like after the first half, I think everybody was like, all right, let's just kick back and enjoy the rest of the game. They made it a little closer at the end, but I think people checked out around halftime.
Okay, we're not at the midway point yet, but we are at the bye week. So your offensive MVP and defensive MVP for this football team is?
Obviously, I think you have to go with Andy Dalton for as much as much grief he's put up the last 4 years. I mean, I think right now he's having some redemption, and I think he's probably enjoying it a little bit. And there's a lot of naysayers who are still out there, but I think he's really turned a lot of people. Defensively, almost Geno Atkins. I think Geno's probably the guy I'd give it to, just for the fact that I think he makes everybody else better. I think the defensive line, I'd give it to a position, being the D-line, but I think Geno has set the tone and made it easier for the other D-line to continue to put pressure. The sack by Dunlap today was incredible. I mean, I thought he almost clotheslined him just coming through there. But to me, it's Geno, and I'd give, because I think he's back, and I think Dalton's back.
Okay, 2 weeks from now, at Pittsburgh, coming off the bye. Ben Roethlisberger will be back. Martavis Bryant is clearly back. Le'Veon Bell is back. They're only 2 games back now, and whatever happens next week with the Bengals being idle. This could be a lot of fun in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it should be a lot of fun. And, honestly, if I'm a Bengals fan, I want to get them at their best. I want to see this team get tested, and it would be great, to have 2 weeks off. We're going to be fresh. At the same time, there's sometimes there can be a slumber that kind of comes over you, coming off of a bye. So to me, I'd like to see the Steelers come full throttle. I'd like to see us, even if we lose, I'd love to see us play a great game. I'd love to, see us take some licks, because they're going to hit you in the mouth from the first whistle and the first kick. But to me, I'd like to see our team play and play hard, and even if they beat us, I think it'll be a good test. I don't want to see us get blown out like we did against the Patriots a couple years ago.
Right. Well, George, Loca said it in the locker room this week. The game before the bye is not nearly as hard as the game after the bye. We'll see what happens on November 1st in Pittsburgh. Thank you, Pelf.
Sure. Thank you.